Hi, so in today's video, we're going to kick off from where we stopped with creating an account on the IRCC portal. If you don't have an account, please look at the description below to see the link to the video on how to create an account. So we are signed into our profile. I'm going to scroll down to start an application, and I'm going to click apply to come to Canada. Again, if you had used the come to Canada or the express entry wizard, you would have gotten a personal reference code. So I'll do another video on how, but again, you can still go scroll down and choose, I do not have a personal reference code and I want to determine my eligibility and apply online using the express entry pathway. So again, we just have to go through the questionnaire and they're asking, choose a province or territory you're interested in or most interested in. I'm going to just pick a tentative answer. So I'm picking Alberta. So that's where I'd love to stay. You're supposed to have taken an English test. So yes, either English or French. I've taken the IELTS. And remember, it has to be valid within the last 2 years. So they're asking which dates did I take this test. So I'm just going to pick this month, maybe on the 5th, and then I click next. So they're asking to enter the scores I made on my test. So please, you need to target those high scores so that you're eligible. So I'm just going to pick 8888 for all of them, and I'm going to click next. Do you have any other English language, any other second language test I've taken? None. I didn't do any tests for French. So I'm going to keep that at none. And the last 3 years, how many years of skilled work experience you have in Canada? I do not have any, so I'm going to click none. Do I have any Canadian work experience during this period? None of the above. So I'm going to click next. So again, remember, this answers has to tally with what applies to you. So now they're asking in the last 10 years, how many years of skilled work experience you have? It must have been continuous paid or full-time and in only one occupation. Okay, so I've been practicing nursing for the last 10 years. So I'm going to click 6 or more. Again, I don't have any experience in any of these occupational codes starting with 72, 73 and all of that. So I'm going to click none and click next. So again, you can check on the IRCC website to determine what your occupational code is. So click next and move on to the next page. And they're asking how much money you'll be bringing into Canada. So again, remember, this keeps changing. I have a family of 5 and as at the 2025 update, I think we should be requiring up to 32,000 Canadian dollars if we need to immigrate. So I'm going to pick that range and they're asking how many family members do I have? And there's 5 of us. I'm going to click next. Do I have a valid job offer? Well, I have, but again, I'm just going to, for most who don't have, and to keep it simple, I'm going to click no, just to show you that it still doesn't really affect your eligibility. Again, what is your date of birth? So again, you need to choose what applies to you. So let me, which date can I use? Okay, let me just pick 1981, May. Let me pick 5th. So just to remember, if you did not any Canadian degree or diploma, have you any qualification that has an ECA completed? So yes, I have a master's degree, but again, for those who don't have a master's degree, you could choose what applies to you. But again, let me just pick a master's degree and then I click next. And again, you must have done credentials evaluation for it. So again, they're asking that you should check all that applied. I have not studied full-time in Canada. I don't have any, I don't have at least 1 year of full work experience in Canada. I do not have a relative in Canada, so I'm going to select none of the above. So again, remember to pick what applies to you. What's your marital status? I'm married. Next. Does your spouse or partner plans to come with you to Canada? Yes, but again, if you're single, again, you can remember to keep this. You don't have to select married. Is your spouse a permanent citizen or permanent resident? No. And then next. My spouse has not studied full-time for 2 years or more in Canada and has not worked either. So I'm going to click no for both of that. Has my spouse taken an English or French language test. So again, it's very important that both of you do take the test, and it also helps to increase your score. So again, I'm going to click yes for her, and then I'm going to pick the date that she took the test. So I'm just going to pick a tentative date. Again, it must be within the last 2 years. And then they're asking which scores she made on the test. Again, like I did previously, I'm just going to put 8, 8, 8, and all of that. So again, the higher the scores, the better your chances. So it says I'm eligible based on my answers. I'm eligible for express entry. And then there are the 2 steps where I'll have to continue to complete my express profile builder, preview my profile, submit my profile, and then step 2, I'll receive a confirmation message in my account. So I can click continue and then go ahead to the express entry profile. So what's my last name again? I think I use OB. And then my first name, Peter. Gender is male. So it already picked out the date of birth I initially imputed. Marital status, married. Will this person accompany you to Canada? Yes. What's your spouse, partner's last name? Okay, so I'm going to still use OB. Given name, I'm not sure what Peter B's wife's name is. Is it Margaret or something? I'll just put Florence. What's your spouse common gender? She's female. Date of birth. Okay, so I'm gonna put which, let me use something I can't remember. So I'm still gonna use the same May 5th. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and start filling all of these forms. So again, there's a personal details, contact details, study and languages, application details, representative, work history. That's for me. And then for my wife, there's a personal details, study and languages, and work history. And after which we are done with this, we can go ahead and save and exit. So again, let's start with the personal details for Peter OB. So this has already been filled in. I'm going to click next. So we'll go to personal description. Country of birth is Nigeria. City of birth is Lagos. Then I'm going to click next. Marital status, married, next. ID documents, does Peter have a Nigerian or national passport? Yes. It's a travel document, a passport, document number shown. I'm just going to pick any number. Country of issue is Nigeria. Okay, so that's Nigeria there. Issue date, I'm going to say it's issued, was issued this year. Expiry date, maybe 2031 or thereabouts. Where do I have 31? Okay. So it should be April 4th. So save and add. So again, you can see the passport details I've shown on the table. So I'm going to click next. And then I go to immigration history and citizenship. Have you applied to the IRC before? Well, I haven't. Oh, sorry about that. So I haven't. So I'm going to click no. If you had, you'll need to put in your UCI number and all of the information from your previous application. Countries of citizenship. P2B only has Nigerian citizenship. I'm going to insert, so it's there. Country of residence, it lives in Nigeria. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I click next. Then I'll go to family. How many family members does P2B have? So I'm using mine. So I'm going to say 5. How much money I will bring into Canada? Let's say 32,000. Again, it doesn't have to be this structure. Just look at what applies to you. Do I have a relative who is a citizen or in Canada? No, I don't. And then I'm done with that. I can click save and continue. Okay, so that's complete now. I'm going to the contact details, and then you click on start form. Language of correspondence, English, next. Email address, I have a lot of emails. Okay, so just gonna use this. And then I click save and exit. So again, that is complete. And then we'll go to study and languages. Okay, have you finished high school or education or whatever? Yes, I have. Okay, field of study. I'm gonna say health since there's no nursing here. Since what year did I graduate? So I graduated in 2024. I'm just gonna pick December. This is not my current study. And then we started in 2023, December. So it was a 1-year master's degree program. It was full-time. A certificate or degree was issued. Country of study is Nigeria. The city of study was Calabar. The name of institution was the University of Calabar. The level of education was a master's degree, and I did not get a Canadian degree. Have I had an ECA within the past 5 years for this degree? Yes, I have. Okay, and which organization did I use? I used WES. Date the report was issued. It was issued this year, July. I'll just pick a tentative date, and then it's asking for my ECA number. So look at the report, pick your ECA number. And what was the report? It said it was a master's degree or professional degree needed to practice in a licensed profession. So again, I'm going to click save and add. Okay, save and add, and then you can see it's been listed down here. So I'm going to click next. Okay, and then these are all of my information for the IELTS. Can I communicate in English? Yes. Have I taken an approved test? Yes, I took the IELTS general training. This is the date of the language test, the date of the test results, the certificate number. So you get that from your test report form, and then the scores. And again, I've not taken any French test, so I'm going to click no, and then I can click save and exit. Okay, and then you can see our study and languages is now complete. So let's go to our application details. So again, which provinces would people be considered living in? So I'm just going to click all just to leave my chances open. Again, yes, you want to authorize the British Columbia Ministry of Job and all of that. So your information can be disclosed with them. That can also be collected by the Ontario Ministry of Citizenship. So I'm going to click yes, and then I click next. Have I received a nomination certificate from a province? Well, most people haven't, so I'm going to click no, and then I click save and continue and exit. Okay, and that's complete. We can go to representative and fill that in. So it's asking, do I have a representative? No, I don't. And I'm going to click save and exit. Again, that is also complete. And then I go to work history. So again, it's asking for my occupation. So again, I'm going to click. I'm looking for something that has to do with nursing. Okay, so I see nurse practitioners here, nursing. So I'm going to pick registered nurse. So that is a 31301 NOC code. Okay, so it's not. So again, date B2B first became qualified to practice in this profession. So because I already wrote I graduated in 2010, so I'm just going to put about 2011 January, and then I'm going to click next. To have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province. Again, if you have your NCLEX, this is where it comes in, and it also helps to. So I'm also registered with the Canadian Registered College of Registered Nurses. So I'm going of Alberta, so I'm going to select Alberta. Okay, and then it's asking occupation associated with the certificate of qualification. Again, it has to be with health or nursing. So I'm going to look for those nursing NOC code. Where are you? Nurse aides, nope. What's that code again? Registered nurse, yeah, 31301. Date I obtained a certificate. So I'm just going to pick something. So I put January and all of that, and then I click next. Again, if you don't have your NCLEX, you can just leave it blank. Do I have a job offer from Canada? No. And I click next. Does P2P have any work history? Yes, I do. Since what year? Well, I've been working in one place for donkey years. So again, I'm just going to put, I've been here since 2030, and this is my current job. Hours per week. Again, remember, it must be at least 40 hours per week. Again, where are those registered nurse? Where are you? 3130, 31301. Job title, I'm just going to put registered nurse. Again, be sure to use the exact job title where you work. Employer, I'm going to put Nursing World, Nigeria. Country, Nigeria. City, Port Harcourt. So I'm going to put save and add. Again, because I've only practiced in one place for a while, it makes it easy for me with my documentation, with my work history. So I'm going to click next. Do you agree to answer these questions for research purposes? No, I don't need any questions. So I'm going to click save and exit. And just like that, we are done with all of my personal details and all of that. So now I can move over to my wife's. I'm going to click start form again. With this person, yeah, click next. We already filled this previously. I already filled some of this. Country of birth should be Nigeria. City of birth should be Lagos. Then I'm going to click next. No, she's not a permanent resident of Canada. I'm going to click next. Does she have a citizen or a relation? No, she doesn't have any who is a permanent resident of Canada. So I'm going to click save and exit. Okay, you can see that is complete. Then we'll go to study and languages. Okay, for education history, has she completed, finished high school? Yes. Field of study should be health. Then we're going to go from 2000 January. And this is not her current study. So we're going to say to 2005 December. So she did 5 full academic years. It was a full-time program. A certificate or diploma was issued, and the program was done in Nigeria. The city of study was Lagos. Name of institution was LASUT. Level of education was a bachelor's degree. Was she awarded a Canadian degree? No. Again, has she had an ECA done for this? Yes, she has. And the organization that issued the ECA was WES. Again, there are other drop downs you could use. Most people would say you can also use ICAS, especially if you did nursing, but I'm not sure what the difference is. And the date the ECA was issued was in 2025, February 2nd, and then the ECA number is that. And then the report said it was equivalent to a bachelor's degree or a three or more year program at the university. Okay, so I think we can click next and go to official, communicate in English. Has she taken an approved test to assess her English skills? Yes. She took the IELTS general training. The date of the test was February 2025. The date of the test result was in April 2025. This is the certificate number. These are her scores. And she hasn't taken any French test. So we can click save and exit. Okay, and then finally we can go to work history and fill that out, and we are done with the express entry application. Does she have a work history? Yes, she does. Again, it's not a crime if you don't have, so you just keep it blank. Since what year? So I'm just going to say, just keep it simple, since 2013 March. It is her current job. Hours per week is 40. NOC code, she's a registered nurse, so I'm going to pick the same 31301. Job title, registered nurse. She's employed at Medical World. Country, Nigeria. The city, Lagos. And then I'm going to click save and add. Okay, and then I'm going to click save and exit. And you can see all of this is fully completed. So this is my accompanying express entry spouse form is complete. Candidate express entry is also complete. Then I'm going to click continue. So you need to electronically sign this. So this is already, or you select I agree. You also want to select I agree for the consent used for research, signature, given name, Peter, last name, Obi. Who is my dog? I'm not even sure what I used again. Okay, so you click sign. Okay, for privacy, I agree, I agree. Again, you want to scroll down and click transmit. Okay, so it says, congratulations, you have successfully submitted your application or profile, and it tells you you have 3 steps. You will receive a message in your account shortly with your confirmation number. Step 2, you will need more information. If we need more information from you or have reached a decision, we will communicate with you through your messages and you'll be notified. Again, you want to remember that processing times may vary. And now we can exit the questionnaire. So again, if you go back to your profile, come back to our profile, you can see we have an express entry. This is our application number, the applicant's name, date submitted, current status, application profile updated. Again, you can either withdraw your profile or you can check full application status here. And that's how you want to join the express entry.